I didn't want to be the one to tell you this. I wish I could have like hid behind like just a blind social media post. Just wrote a nice message and then, not have to do this. But I felt like I owed you guys the FaceTime, and I felt like this was worth the video. And by now you probably know it's not good news. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off, okay? There's gonna be no more Final Space. There's no season 4. For now, at least, it's over. And there's only in Hollywood, there's only so many times you can survive a merger. And as luck would have it, Final Space survived 1, but we couldn't survive number 2, okay? We couldn't survive the second merger. And for those international fans, we're not really like a Netflix show. In the States, we're owned by TBS, which is owned by Warner Brothers. And they're about to go through another merger, and the TBS 5 years ago is a different TBS than today. They tried, man. They tried to keep it going. They fought for it. They tried to manifest it. They tried to manifest that season 4, but it just didn't happen. The last thing that I heard was that they were trying to find a way to do kind of like an hour-long special, but to not hold my breath. Look, I know a lot of you are going to be sad. Heck, even some of you may even be happy it's not continuing. For better or worse, I'm so unbelievably humbled that you all would even take the chance to watch the show, I remember when I was like 14 years old and I was making short films with my dad's like camcorder, and I didn't have anybody to watch anything of mine. All I had was my brother, and I would beg my brother to come in and like watch the new thing that I made. And millions of people have watched Final Space all over the world. That just blows my mind. It blows my mind. I never would have thought that Final Space would have went worldwide. I was always like, oh, it's just gonna be here in the States. But no, it found an audience all over the world. Probably even more so than the United States, Like, it's one of those things that I always I'm so amazed by. The show was about dealing with loss. It was about loneliness. It was about love. It was about finding that family. And for all of its faults, like my terrible voice acting, I tried to get better. I tried. And just the bad luck. Sometimes you just get bad luck of going through 2 mergers, a pandemic, juggling between multiple networks. I mean, we made 3 seasons of a show. There are better shows that get canceled for way less. And we had 3 seasons. I think season 1 was actually the only year that we actually made a show in like normal circumstances. And I think it's just sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. You just get a bad hand and you gotta play it. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, okay? I put all of my heart into this show. I did. And maybe that's why it hurts so much. Maybe that's why. I'm sorry. Why? Why am I this guy? I mean, it's it's a good hurt. It made me appreciate all the times I had with Gary and Quinn and Avocado and Little Cato and Ash Fox, all of them. Except for Kevin, that freaking Kevin. I would love to put an ending to this. I would so much. I would love to put an ending with this. I never intended it to end at the end of season 3, the halfway point, the dark night of the soul. And if the opportunity comes years from now, I'm there. Let's go. Like, what do you need from me? I mean, I think about how it ends all the time. All the time. At least once a day. And it'll probably sit there and I'll keep playing through it, probably for a long time. It's almost like eating like your favorite dessert, right? And you're taking bite after bite, and then right before that last bite, somebody pulls the tiramisu away from you, and you're like, no, I didn't get to finish it, and it's just, you just got to enjoy the 3 bites that you had, And there are a couple other Final Space things out there in the ether that could come out. As far as a game or games, I played both actually, okay? And one of them is VR and the other one's console. And I played both and oh my God, they are fun. They are so fun. So as the lights go out on Final Space, I just want to say thank you to all of you, to the animators, to the artists, to everybody that was a part of this thing, the crew, just even TBS, everybody that breathed life into Final Space. Thank you. Thank you. Sincerely, to the bottom of my life pumping organ right there. Thank you so much for just watching, for caring, for supporting the show in every which way you did. It means the world to me. And don't worry about me. I'm already working on a ton of new projects. All right? Whatever the next thing is, or the next thing that takes off, I would love for you to follow me. And, I'll put my tags on all the social media platforms that I'm at. My hope is that the show sparked at least one person to go out and make their own story. Then it was all worth it. It was all worth it. 100%. The past 5 years of going through all the things that Final Space had to go through, it was worth it. Because that, to me, giving somebody inspiration is one of the most beautiful and pure things that you could possibly do. And that would mean it was worth it to me. And look, I know it's in making your own thing, it's a vulnerable thing. You're putting it out in the world for people to judge it. You're saying, this came from me. What do you think? And I'm just going to say this. I'll say this. Try your best. And you might say, what if my best isn't good enough? Well, I would say it's good enough for me.